there. In this video, I will demonstrate the logosynthesis process. I hope you relax and enjoy. So to start the logosynthesis process, we look to see what is actually bothering us. So for the purpose of this demonstration, we don't want to pick anything too extreme or too intense. So I'm going to ask you to think about something that might annoy you a little bit, something that's bothering you, and something that you would like to address. Just take a minute to think about what that might be. Then once you have it, you can pause at any point as well if you need a little bit more time as we go through. But once you have something that you would like to resolve, then I'm going to ask you to think about what comes to mind for distressing thoughts. So what are those thoughts that bother you? Think also at this point about emotions. What emotions arise? So we're looking into feelings. Is there some sadness? Is there anger, frustration? Put a label onto some of the emotions that arise with this issue. And again, just relax and breathe deep. Don't overthink it. Just notice what comes up when you're thinking about this situation. And after you're connected with the thoughts and the emotions, I'm going to ask you to think about or notice what body sensations arise. Some people might notice that their head is pounding. A lot of people notice it in their chest area. You might notice something somewhere in your body. Is there some pain? Is there a sensation? How do you know that this is a distressing situation? Where is that in your body? And again, don't overanalyze it. Don't overthink it. Just notice what thoughts, what emotions, and what body sensations are there when you think of this situation. And as you connect with that, I'm going to ask you to assess what the level of distress is. So in this process, we always work from a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being absolutely no distress and 10 being the most distressing. It never goes above a 10. And for the purpose of this exercise, again, I don't want you to go too far into it. Just assess what the level of distress might be on a scale of 0 to 10. And once you've given it a number, I'm going to ask you to stay with that for a moment and just notice, are there any images that you notice, any sounds that you notice? We're looking for sensory perceptions. And by sensory perceptions, these are things that you perceive in your personal space around you. It might be in front of you, behind you, above. It might be close. It might not be all that close at all. But notice where in your sensory field you perceive it. Just take a moment to be with it. When you connect with that distress, what pops forward? Just relax. It doesn't have to make sense. In fact, quite often it doesn't make sense at all, and that's fine. Once you have a sensory perception, if you need a bit more time, again, you can pause. But once you have a sensory perception, I'm going to ask you to label it. And this is a label that we're going to apply 3 specific sentences to. So I'm going to give you the first sentence. I retrieve all of my energy bound in this perception, and I take it to the right place within myself. Then we're just going to let that sentence work. We're just going to relax. We might notice our eyes flutter. We might notice a bit of yawning occurring. In some cases, people notice some trembling. That's fine. It's energy shifting. And just pause. Just let the sentences do the work. Don't think about the content of those sentences. Just relax. And again, if you wish to pause, go ahead. Now I have the second sentence for you. I remove, repeat after me, I remove all non-me energy bound in this perception from all of my cells, all of my bodies, and my personal space, and I send it to where it truly belongs. Again, we're going to have a working pause. Relax. Don't worry about where the energy's going. Don't worry about the specifics of the words. Relax. Again, you can pause if you wish. And now for the third sentence. I retrieve, repeat after me, I retrieve all of my energy bound in all of my reactions to this perception, and I take it to the right place within myself. Again, relax. Notice what's happening, but don't think about it. Just allow whatever arises to rise. If you want to pause, you can pause. Now I'm going to ask you to notice what happens. What's the level of distress? What happens to the sensory perception? And notice what's in the field around you. In some cases, that level of distress may have shifted to 0 and there may be nothing left. In other cases, a new image or a new sound may have arisen. And if you wish, you can go back to the beginning of this video and apply the sentences to that image. So again, it's a matter of always practicing this one simple technique, this one specific sequence of sentences developed by Willem Lammers, and go through this process when you notice something that distresses you. So, given that some situations, some items carry significantly more distress than others, it's important to notice when you want to go for support. So sometimes a coach, a counselor, therapist, psychologist can guide you through this process to help resolve deeper seated issues. But it's a beautiful process to apply just to the everyday stresses of our life, the people that might annoy us a little bit, the situations that make us a little angry or upset, those situations that derail us when we have to go into a meeting or do a presentation. And we can run this process on our own time, on our own space. You can use this video if you wish. You can ask for help. But again, it's always the same process. So enjoy.